And sometimes it may need some investment. It needs investment to develop the curriculum, to train, to make sure the teachers are ready, to develop the assessment process. It's going to take time to get that course accepted by your governing body. It's, you can't just, this thing can't just drop into existence. And then, of course, you may need tools and equipment as well. So it can be a slightly more expensive option. If you like the idea of standalone courses and not spending any money, do contact us and we can help you with that. With not having to go through the process of creating it yourself. So those are the two big choices. I would urge you to think about what are your must-haves, what are your would be really nice to haves, and see if you can find which of those approaches best suits you. Usually the must-haves decide it. So now let's get on to, we've decided the big questions. Let's make some decisions on the smaller things. Equipment, tools, and tips. Teaching data analytics, particularly remotely over the internet. Online learning is so challenging. I had no idea until I started teaching it how difficult it would be. There are so many dependencies that you lose control of completely. You don't think about it until you start doing it. So things like, where you are in the world. If you teach internationally, this can really matter, because if I'm trying to connect to a data set here in Europe and I've got a student in Singapore, they've got to connect to a different server, the one that's physically, geographically near them. And if they need help, I often can't help them because I don't know what that server is and it's not easy to find out. As well as, well, where are these servers physically in the world? We're all hooked into different systems. You've got problems of network connectivity. And some students will find they have a very slow internet speed, and when you're trying to do something like machine learning with a slow internet, forget it. It's really problematic. And especially assessment can be really problematic because the time it takes, the network connectivity starts interfering. Then you have problems with different software that people have installed on different machines. So things like the operating system, if you're working with Windows, Microsoft Windows, or if you're working with Apple operating system, or another operating system of your choice, that can interfere with the programs that we're trying to run. The browser, something just as simple as the browser that they're using. Are they using Chrome or Bing or something else? Can impact how the analytics work. It's infuriating. It's very difficult to support. And to give you an example, my colleague who has a PhD in computer science was trying to install Anaconda, which is a very basic platform. It's kind of lesson one, day one, if you're going to go down one of the coding routes. You don't have to go down a coding route to do data analytics, but if you want to, install Anaconda is like day one, lesson one. It took him a whole afternoon to sort out the conflicts between Anaconda and, admittedly, the many tools he already had installed on his laptop. And then you've got the problem of storage power processing. Some of these algorithms, it's not like running Excel. It's not like, it goes and it pings back instantly. If it's complex, if it's big data, if it's an iterative algorithm, if it's an algorithm that goes over the data set many times, when my son was doing this, he would have to send his data off and then literally wait until the next day for it to finish processing, because he was working with a very slow system, and it would come back and say, yeah, there's a mistake. There's a mistake there somewhere. And so he'd have to correct it, send it off again, wait another day for it to come back. And I think until you start working with some of these tools, you don't realize how much we take for granted that everything works. So many things interfere. with data analytics. And so if you're trying, and also, you know, stuff changes really fast. You know, things that did work don't work anymore. And that's true if you work with spreadsheets, anything, things change really, really quickly, and you have to update the curriculum. So you know, just be ready for some challenges. And again, that's, you know, we found that working off the browser rather than depending too much on the laptop, if we can work off a browser, then that's how our training works, that actually you don't need to worry about connectivity, server, geographic location, all of those things. Goodbye. we stop worrying about it. So our training works off a browser, and that works for us. In terms of what tools should you buy, this is a very big decision. You can quickly spend a lot of money on licenses. So I would suggest start off with, well, what tools do you already know how to use? If you know how to use Excel, brilliant, start there. If you know how to use Google Sheets, fantastic. If you know Excel or Google Sheets and you're looking for something a little more exciting, then maybe Power BI is a great choice. It has a free version everyone can download onto their laptop, and it's a cousin. It's a bigger cousin of Excel and Google Sheets. So you won't have any trouble using it, learning it, and no cost involved. So think about what tools you already know. Talk to your tech department. What tools do they already license? Many will license things like Stata. They might license various statistical analysis, very traditional tools, which is great. You may find as well that they can bulk purchase licenses at a very cheap price. Many of the businesses, it's in their interests to get their tools taught in university, because it just, you know, it promotes good feeling. It's a great marketing technique. Always look for the free stuff. So Tableau used to be a good option. Tableau used to have a free version you could play with and learn with, but these days you're going to have to get licensed in every single, you know, every student's going to need a license for it. So I would strongly recommend forget Tableau, Power BI. It's got a free version.
Thank you for watching. The Institute of Analytics is the global membership body for data professionals. Learn more by following us on LinkedIn, Facebook or Instagram, or visit our website now. The links are in the description.